Google is back, and if appearances are anything to go by, it looks like it's starting fresh. The Pixel 6 is here, and it's safe to say it's a little unique, or as unique as a glass rectangle can be. I'm Cam Bunton from Pocket-lint, and in this video I'm going to unbox and show you everything you need to know about the Pixel 6. And while you're here, if you could tap the like button, subscribe and tap the notification bell, that would be brilliant. The unboxing starts with this simple matte compact box with a picture of the phone on the front and the sides that are colour matched to the colour of the phone. For us, that's the stormy black. It opens using two simple pull strips on the rear of the box, and once we get the lid off, the rest is all too familiar. The phone sits face down on the top with its own pull tab to help lift it out of its position. First up is a little packet of booklets, all held together by a tearable strip which seems to be made of some sort of paper material. They include a multilingual quick start guide and warranty information booklet. There's also the classic Google SIM ejector tool. It's completely round, apart from the pin sticking out. There's no power brick in the box, with Google joining the likes of Samsung and Apple in trying to reduce electronic waste. However, it does include this very handy Type A to Type C adapter, and also has a USB-C to USB-C cable, again held together using a tearable strip of cardboard. There's very little in the way of plastic here. Even when we pick up the phone, the screen is protected by a white paper-based screen protector, similar to the latest iPhones, and that means no plastic pre-applied protector. A big part of the phone's distinctiveness is down to the design of the frame and the bezel. It's very rectangular and right-angled, but still has skinny bezels. So rather than go with a rounded appearance around the corners with an internal curved corner in the bezel, Google opted to make them close to square. In a way, it almost has a Nokia Lumia-esque vibe to it. Despite those right-angled corners, the frame is still rounded to make it feel comfortable in the hand, or at least that's the aim. A feel that's further enhanced by the slight curves in the glass on the back of the phone. It's on the back of the phone you'll find the most striking difference between this and other phones though. Just one quick glance and anyone will see it's not quite the same. There's no rectangular, square or pill-shaped camera protrusion in the corner. Instead, Google spread the camera unit across the entire width of the phone. The protrusion is capped at the top and the bottom by an aluminium frame that joins on with the main chassis of the phone, and solves a minor issue with the usual corner-placed method. It means that when you lie the phone on its back on your desk or a table, it won't wobble. Apart from that, it's all a pretty standard affair. The volume rocker and wake sleep key live on the right edge, the SIM tray is in the left, and a Type-C port on the bottom. There's no physical fingerprint sensor this year, instead Google went with an optical in-display one. And there's a centrally placed front-facing camera punching through the top of the display. The regular Google Pixel 6 comes in three colours, and our review unit, as we've said, is the Stormy Black, which features a tritone finish with dark grey forming the predominant colour on the back, with a black camera panel and a lighter grey panel above that. Other colours include kinda coral and sorta seafoam green. Reading down the display spec list reads pretty much like any other standard Android flagship phone. That's to say it's a Full HD Plus resolution 20:9 ratio display built with an OLED panel, and it's capable of reaching up to 90Hz refresh rates. With 24-bit colour support, it's capable of supporting 16 million colours, and with enough contrast and brightness to make HDR10 content look its best. Or at least, that's what they claim. We'll need to test it further to see exactly how good it is in real life. As always with any Pixel line of phones from Google, it's not necessarily the technical capabilities of the screen that are the most important, but what the screen acts as the window to. And in this case, that's Android 12. For 2021, Google has redesigned Android. It's safe to say this is the biggest visual change we've seen in an Android update, well, ever. Much of the main interface and layers has been completely redesigned, from the drop-down notifications and quick settings shade to the lock screen and widgets. It's all new. What's more, there are tons of new animations for things like unlocking the phone or plugging it into charge, all of which are well suited to the 90Hz refresh screen. Two things do stand out, however. First, there's automatic theming. So when you set a new wallpaper in Android 12, the system accent color changes to match the predominant colors in that wallpaper. Second is widgets. There's a new style of widget for Google functions like the clock, weather, conversations, and keep notes, among other things. It comes with all the other benefits too, like the additional security measures, so those include things like the privacy dashboard that gives easy access to your permissions, so you can quickly see which apps have accessed your location, your camera, your microphone, and any other data you might want to keep private. Plus, there are now quick toggles where you can easily switch off your camera and microphone whenever you like. The second big talking point for the Pixel 6 is the processor. Google has gone down a similar route to Apple and now uses its own home-baked processor called Tensor. Again, we need to test this further to see how exactly it compares to the likes of the Snapdragon and the Apple A15 series. Google's claim is that you'll get about 80% increase in performance over the Pixel 5. The battery inside is similar in capacity to what you'll find in many Android phones though, at 4614 typical capacity, with 30-watt wired charging, plus support for wireless charging. And it comes in both 128 and 256GB storage variants. Moving on to cameras, and the regular Pixel 6 features a dual camera system. It's made up of a 50-megapixel primary wide lens and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens. And as is usually the case for Google's phone cameras, there's lots of computational work being done behind the scenes for processing colors, light and detail and such. It's also enabled a host of cool camera features that let you do things like edit out photo bombers or unwanted objects in the background of your photos. Now again, as with a lot of these things, we'll go into more depth later on when we get to the full review, but it certainly sounds promising. As we've already mentioned, there are two big talking points here with the Pixel 6. There's the brand new design, and there's the fact that Google is now using its own homemade processors. That focus on creating a phone that's visually distinct from everything else on the market while also investing in its own homegrown silicon suggests Google is taking this smartphone thing very seriously. What's more, Android 12's interface is so different to previous software that there's barely a feature on this phone that's identical to the competition. Whether or not those things and the heavy marketing that's going into this phone is enough to get people buying these Pixels is yet to be seen. I've been Cam, I'm at Cam Bunton on most social media networks. You can get in touch with me on there or use the comments down below. If you did like this video, it would mean a great deal if you hit like, subscribe and tap the notification bell. And I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.